moment of your life? Please raise your hands. Thank you. And friends, how many of you are here who are really responsible towards your own health? Who feel totally responsible towards your health? Friends, I from each one of you a topic called as the principles of developing an healthy habits. Friends, this topic has been of a very close interest to me as a yoga teacher and also as a sportsman who has been involved in sports for the last almost 30 years, and having conducted more than about 100 yoga sessions, I have been in a position to study this aspect of holistic health, which is what I wanted to just share with you. And first of all, I want to acknowledge each one of you for taking out your valuable time and being present here on a Wednesday afternoon for this particular session. Now this shows one thing about each one of you, that each one of you is a real success minded and success conducive attitude person. So I really wanted to acknowledge each one of you. Can you please do a small favor to me? Raise your hands up, turn it around, and just acknowledge yourself. I really mean it. Thank you very much. Thank you. This is something. This again is very, very useful for your health. I promise you. I'll tell you how when we go deeper into the subject. Second is, can you also do me one more favor? Can you? As I cannot reach out to all of you, can you please raise your hand like this? Yeah. Yeah, very good. And acknowledge on my behalf your buddy who's sitting by your side, and just acknowledge him and say thank you. Well done. Thanks for being here. Absolutely. Thank you. What we just did was one of the most important inputs which you can do continuously for your emotional well-being. How many of you feel a little bit emotionally better when you did that? Or when you received that appreciation, how many of you really felt better? Yeah. These are all small tips. Minutes together. I want to tell you what exactly we are going to detail upon and facilitate upon. The first and foremost thing I want to elaborate on what is health in all its dimensions, so that we understand health in the proper perspective, so that we can start taking action on each of those different dimensions which impact your life. How many of you think it will be worth it? Okay. Then we will also see in this particular seminar as to how you can start doing those small actions right from today to start further improving on the different dimensions of life. How many of you think that's useful? And third one, what I plan to cover in this next around 60 to 75 minutes of our interaction is to then give you some of the principles, okay, which normally come as an impediment, as a barrier towards working on your own health. So once you understand those principles, you will be able to overcome those barriers which are basically internal in nature, because inside out is where the transformation happens, which will enable you to take a better control, become more responsible towards your own health. How many of you feel that's useful? Yeah, thank you. Friends, now that we are going to spend a little bit more, can I share a little bit about my own groups like this? And more than 1 lakh people I've been able to coach or facilitate in this last 25 years, and most of them, my intention has been the person who walks into the training room should not be the same person who walks out. He should go back with real education. What's the word? Real education. That is, real education in my opinion is transformation. Okay, and even today my intention is the same, that each one of you really take absolute value on this subject of health and the principle associated when you leave this particular training group. That's my intention. And one more reason why I do this training program is because it's a little bit patriotic. I for one believe that this country of ours, as you all must be knowing, in the ancient past was known as, anybody? This ancient was known as the gold mine, absolutely, but actually the word was Absolutely right. This is called the Sone ki Chidi of the world. And this land of ours, okay, was number uno in almost all dimensions of life. I would not only talk about in terms of the materialism. Yes, materially we were really prosperous. 1/3 of the world's economy was contributed by our motherland. But not only that, we were also in the forefront in terms of our holistic health. As you all know, we were the civilization which gave to this world the most potent health formula, that is, anybody? This was a civilization, ours was a civilization which gave one of the most potent form of formulation for health. Ayurveda is a medicinal system.
Philosophy of, instead of like Western, they have a philosophy of doing.
Absolutely.
Our philosophy was being.
Yes, absolutely. You know, actually, June 21st today world over is called as the Yoga Day. So we are the civilization which gave the yogic way of life, which is a comprehensive and a holistic form of being in the on top of the health parameters in almost all area of life. But unfortunately, if you see currently, my friends, why I really am into training and why this subject is very close to me, my heart, is that if over a period of last 200-300 years, after we got really subjugated by the Britishers, okay, they systematically destroyed our social, cultural, educational system. And if you see Lord Macaulay's statement, which he read out to the British Parliament in 1834, he says, I have travelled the length and the breadth of this country, this is India, and there has been no one beggar, not one thief. There is so much of abundance in this world, in this country, and the cultural and the educational system was so strong that we, that is Britishers, would never be able to ever subjugate this country unless and until we are able to destroy their cultural and educational system and make the natives lose their self-esteem and start believing that everything English is good. And if we can do that, then we will be able to subjugate this country. Friends, I want to ask all of you, did they succeed in their mission? Yes, absolutely. In fact, unfortunately, they did to a great extent succeed in their mission. And that's how they kept us under subjugation for more than about 200 years, and also systematically looted us in almost every form of in every form that is possible, and left this country, you know, with a lot of poverty, right, which is what we have been seeing in the last 70 years of our independence. And I also wanted to tell you that in this course of this 200 years, if you see, one more thing which they did, you know, where did they really attack? Which is the area which really was the most important area of their brutal attack? Education.
The division of the humanity in different races.
Division of the humanity, and more than that,
the whole philosophical life of
philosophical life, absolutely. Actually, if you ask me, the one word which is very crucial is there. They really impinged on our self-esteem. Okay, they made us not leave the belief in ourselves, and that, in my opinion, was the biggest negative, destructive thing which Britishers did for our country, and this has had an impact on almost all areas of life. And today I am not very proud to say that if you see the health index of the entire world, and if you see in terms of the health level of the civilization as a country as a whole, you know, our country rates among the lowest. Okay? Yeah, it is among the lowest. Yeah, it's very low because the awareness about the health is very poor. That's exactly why I appreciate you all taking your time and coming over here, because the way we understood health in the ancient time, and we were the people who gave this yogic way of life, from that high standard to where we have reached today, is a dismal performance. And today we are among the least fittest nation in the world, and frankly speaking, many of us youth or the overall population doesn't really understand the importance of health. And we also have got a natural disposition towards diabetes and also blood pressure, because of which we have become a diabetic capital of the world. That's why one of the intention why I am into training is to rebuild my country in almost all areas of life, not only in terms of the materialistic growth, but also in the health front as well. Thereby, we can rebuild this country back into this ancient glory when it was called as the Soni Kichdi of the world. So that's one of the reasons why I am into training, and that's why I'm passionately want to pursue, and whichever forum I get, I want to come and share whatever I have learnt from my masters and my gurus, so that knowledge can help us to rebuild our nation's self-esteem and start looking at a holistic growth and holistic well-being, which can again take it back to the ancient glory. And I really want to request you all that whatever you pick up points today, don't keep it with yourself. Share it with as many people as possible, so that we can create the sense of awareness and a sense of urgency for each of our fellow Indians to start realizing the importance of all these different dimensions, and thereby we can accelerate the progress. How many of you agree with me? Yes. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. So now let's get into the actual seminar per se. As you all know, health, normally when you look at it, people look at health only on the physical dimension. But if you see in our ancient days, we were talking about we having Panchakosha. Panchakosha Shuddhi is what we used to call. We used to call it as we have a physical body, a mental body, an emotional body, an intellectual body, and a spiritual body. So we are in a way going 5 sheets or layers, and if you are considering yourself to be healthy, then you need to cleanse and keep all these 5 sheets of layers or bodies that each of us possess at the optimum level. So I'll again repeat, these five layers are physical, mental, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual. And we will look at each of them and see how each of them can be reinforced. To begin with the first one, which, as I said, the first dimension of our health which needs to be looked at is called as the physical health. If you see this human body, which is in my opinion the most sophisticated machine ever designed or ever will be designed, it has got one principle or one dimension to it. This physical body, which is your vehicle in the journey of life, and I for one believe and I am convinced that the quality of your life will depend upon the quality of this particular vehicle. That is the physical form. But one strange thing is, even though this physical body can take care of you in terms of enabling you to experience and enjoy life, this human life, but this physical body cannot take care of itself. It has to be taken care of. And if you neglect this physical body, and understandably you continuously keep on sharpening and exercising it, this body automatically gets deranged. So that's why I always say that physical body, at least if you can spend 1 hour per day to physically exercise and keep this body tuned up, then this physical body can take care of you for the next 23 hours. Okay? Because physical body cannot take care of itself. Okay? By itself, if you allow it to be where it is, it will slowly get deteriorated. That's what happens with most of the people. How many of you agree with me? Yeah, many of the people who don't exercise, who don't do the running or some sort of a physical exercise for this body, tend to become put on weight, or they become weak and they become sick. So one important thing about physical body is you need to take care of it by giving it at least 1 hour of good physical exercises. This has to be coupled, my friends, with one more thing called as food. The food which we eat is supposed to give us energy. But generally if you see, most of us, most of the people who eat food, after they eat food, normally what happens to them? They tend to get lethargic. You know why? Why do they get lethargic? It's because that food, instead of giving energy to the body, is actually sucking away the energy. Means the entire blood force has to go and concentrate on those food to digest. The type of food that we eat, which is non-pranic, actually what happens is, you feel heavier and you feel drowsy, mainly because the blood supply has to be focused to digest that particular food which you have intaken, and because of the non-pranic form of food that we eat, it has a direct impact on the physical well-being of the human beings. Okay, so these are two dimensions which I wanted to touch upon. One is the physical exercise which is required for tuning up your body. Second is the type of food that you eat. Now our body, we are the only living organism which cook the food. Have you seen any other animal cooking the food and eating? They straight away eat whatever is available naturally in the nature. But we are the only people who start cooking, and by cooking what you are actually doing? You are actually destroying all the nutrients that is available in the food. Yeah, just because you are guided by your taste bud, and you tend to destroy the nutrient and really lose the value of the exact food. And this has a direct impact on the physical dimension of the entire human being. Okay. The next aspect which I wanted to touch upon was this. So here it is about food and exercise. Now, food instead of giving energy is doing what? Is depleting energy, the current food which you are eating. Okay, and as we are not exercising, the body automatically gets weakened up, because as I said, body doesn't have the power to take care of itself. Now you have to exercise or devote that 1 hour every day for it to become more energetic and alive. The second important thing which I want to touch upon is this thing called as the what health? The mental health, which also is an important form of health. Now, as you all know, our mental health, if you have to think about mental health, our mind is constituted by what? It's constituted by what? Thoughts, absolutely, thoughts. Now, I also want to ask you one more thing. Do you know how many thoughts do you get in a day? 60 to 70,000 thoughts, as you all know. And out of these thoughts, how many of them are positive and how many of them are negative? Major negative, right? Can you give me some percentage on that? Yeah, 90% of these thoughts which you get are normally negative and repetitive. Only 10% of them are positive. I want to ask you one more thing. Now, at a given instant, how many thoughts do you have? In a given instant, how many thoughts do you have? At a given instant, 30, 40? In a given instant, how many thoughts do you have? At an instant, how many thoughts do you normally can hold in your mind? And that's what is the way we human beings are constructed. And I want you to get present to this, because this is a very important understanding which needs to be understood if you want to continuously keep your mental health at the top of it. Okay. We human beings, my friends, let me tell you one thing. We are constituted in such a manner that at any given instant you can have only one thought. Okay. And who is a chooser of this thought normally? Absolutely. You have the power. God has given you the power to choose that one thought. But unfortunately, because of our poor mental health, if you ask me frankly, Instead of you choosing the thoughts, what is the experience that you have? The thoughts choose you. Then if I ask you a little bit of a in-depth question, do you have thoughts or thoughts have you?
Generally, thoughts have us.
Absolutely. Okay. Normally we are supposed to be having the thoughts, but unfortunately the experience that we all have is thoughts have us. In the morning we get up, we feel like, okay, let me go for this interesting lecture on health, and by 2:30 something, I feel a little sleepy, let me go to sleep. So what happens? We undermine our purpose with our feelings or with our emotions. Okay, we allow the thoughts to carry us, and by virtue of which we lose out many things in life. How many of you agree with me? So that's exactly about mental health. Mental health is about you having thoughts and not allowing the thoughts to have you. And one of the best technology which was given by our ancestors to this world was called as meditation. Absolutely right. Give a big hand to Alan. Absolutely right. That is meditation. The meditation is one of the most powerful way in which your mental health, meditation helps you in many other areas, but in the mental health as well. If you really want to become a master of your thoughts, okay, one of the best technologies known to man, and today all over the world it has been recognized, is this power of what's the word? How many of you are into meditation? How many of you practice meditation regularly? Excellent. Yeah. In fact, I really want to appeal to all of you to learn meditation. And if you already have learned meditation or you have been initiated into meditation, please practice it. Because my Guruji, Guru Rishi Prabhakarji, used to say very beautifully, he says, good, you have learned the best technology of meditation. But if you don't practice it, it is of no use. So practicing it diligently and on almost on a daily basis is very, very crucial for you to maintain your mental health. Because as you all know, most of the meditation technology, we are basically in the meditative state. You try to be a witness to your thoughts. You let the thoughts come and thoughts go. Okay? You don't try to entertain any of the thoughts. You don't allow thoughts to disturb you. That's what is the true power of silence. And that state of a meditative state, you are in a position to then focus on whichever thoughts that you want to, and thereby produce the results. Okay? So that's where this important mental health is taken care by practices such as meditation. One more way in which you can also help develop your mental state is to be with the nature. Okay? When you are in sync with the nature, when you are in harmony with the nature, automatically that again helps you to really make your mind more peaceful. Okay? Or the practice of real silence. Like sometimes even in a wakeful stage you can be in a deep state of meditative state by silence when you're just with the nature. How many of you experience that? Yeah. Just being with nature. In the metro cities or with so much of noise and pollution, you can't have that mental state of peace. But definitely you can enhance your mental peace if you can continuously keep on working and experiencing the deep state of peace. Okay? But this is the second one. The third one which I wanted to touch upon is called as the emotion. What's the word? The emotional health. Because remember, whenever you have a thoughts, okay, and when the thoughts are there, normally you bring in a sense of emotion depending upon how developed you are in the emotional dimension. Okay? Emotion again has got two bifurcation. One is the positive emotions and one is the negative emotions. Okay? To the thoughts, if you sync it with a negative emotion, you get a negative feeling. When you couple the thoughts with a positive emotion, automatically positive feelings come in. So can I have your participation by telling me what are the positive emotions that normally we have? What do you love? Brilliant. Most important, love. Sympathy, empathy, brilliant. Compassion, very good, excellent. Love, compassion, empathy, sympathy. What else? Gratitude, brilliant, absolutely. Gratitude. Yes, these are all the positive emotions. When you use more of these emotions with your thoughts, what happens to you? You automatically feel good. The feeling is good. And remember, the feelings are the signals to the universe. And type of feelings that you emanate, that's what comes back to you. How many of you agree with me? Yeah, how many of you experience that? Raise your hands. Absolutely, thank you. Okay. And similarly, what are the negative emotions that you have encountered or experienced or you have practiced sometimes? What are the negative emotions? Anger, brilliant, very good. Anger, fear, anger, anxiety, okay. Jealousy, brilliant. Guilt, hatred, yeah, shame. Okay, these are all negative emotions. And when you give a negative emotions to your thoughts, because thoughts are nothing but are the fluctuations in the level of your consciousness. Okay, thoughts normally come from the senses. 5 senses normally originate the thoughts. Okay, like for example, if you see a beggar down, who's just peddling around, if you bring in the negative emotion, what can we think? What can be the negative emotion that you bring to? गधा है, क्या कर रहा है, समझता नहीं है. Okay, he may have infection. मेरे को तू ये दे देगा. So that automatically gives, that means anger towards him, or unpleasantness against him would lead to whatever feeling. You automatically emanate this kind of feeling. The same thing as you all brilliantly said, if you bring in the emotion of love, compassion, or sympathy, or empathy with him, what will happen? Your automatic action towards him would be altogether different. And automatically your feeling or your own experience of life in that moment would be altogether different. How many of you agree with me? Yeah, it's all a matter of how you are able to manage your emotional dimension of your life. If you are a person whose positive emotions are more stronger, or you are a person who has been utilizing or developing the muscle of your positive emotion more, automatically you will be a person who would emanate that optimism. You would emanate the positive energy. You would emanate that positive vibration to the universe, and thereby make yourself feel better as well as make the other persons feel better. So this emotion, as you all friends, as you know, along with thoughts, is what gives rise to these feelings. Okay, and remember, feelings are the signals to the universe. Okay, if you see any of the metaphysical theses or metaphysical science inputs, they all talk about you being able to manage your feelings. How many of you know about law of attraction? Yeah, law of attraction. If you see the law of attraction, the entire premise of that law of attraction is whatever feelings you are giving to the universe, the same thing you are going to attract it back. Okay, so you need to be very sensitive. What's the word? Sensitive. To the type of feelings that you are emanating. Okay, if you are able to manage the feelings and emanate proper feelings, you would automatically see all the good things happening to your life. Okay, that's the importance of this emotional dimensions of your health or well-being. So till now, what have we covered? What 3 dimensions we have covered? Can we all repeat that, please? Physical, mental, and emotional. Okay, excellent, very good. Now we go to the 4th one, which is called as the intellectual dimension. Okay, this is also called as the Vignayamai Kosha. Okay, Vignayamai Kosha. which is what is very, very important. Vidya Kosh is about nothing but the intellectual. The intellectual is basically the discriminatory factor. It discriminates. Okay, the thoughts which come, it comes and falls into conceptual body called as a mind. Okay, in the mind doesn't on its own have the power to act. It's only when it passes through the intellectual barrier, intellectual sheath, does the organs of action get into motion. So the moment if your intellectual dimension is strong, so all the negative actions are automatically filtered off. But if your intellectual dimension is not properly sharpened up and developed, then what happens is any impulses which comes from your senses, from your outward organs to the mind gets automatically encouraged. Like for example, you're walking around and suddenly you see 2 or 3 shops of liquor. Okay, as soon as you see a liquor and is nicely showcased some new liquor launches at a very competitive price, like automatically senses will do what? Your eyes will automatically look at it, develop a thought and send it to the mind. Now if you are intellectually not discriminatory, if your intellectual is not developed and you are a subservient to your intellect, to your mind, if the mind is subservient to the intellect, and mind is like a monkey, it's chanchala hai. So mind always wants to go for short-term pleasures. So if your mind would automatically ask you what? Let me go and buy the liquor and go and enjoy myself. Okay. But if your intellect is sharp, what can it do? It can say, boss, no, you are sending the message, but I'm not passing that. I'm just filtering it off. No, it is not good for health. It's not good for your well-being in every manner. I'm not allowing this to be carried out. So it automatically discriminates and eliminates that negative reaction to your impulses. So that's why they say, आपके बुद्धि को मन के पीछे जासूस बना के रखना. Can you repeat that? आपको बुद्धि को मन के पीछे जासूस बना के रखना. Okay? Because मन क्या होगा? मन एकदम चंचल है. Okay? It immediately wants to go for immediate gratification, and it wants to do everything which is so-called pleasurable. Okay? But then for you to eliminate that particular impulse, you need to have a sharpened intellectual.
But there are cases when we are emotionally charged, and that time emotions take over so much that intellect takes a backseat.
Excellent.
And only after 5 minutes or 10 minutes you
Excellent.
realize this shouldn't have happened.
Brilliant. That's why they say when emotion goes up, intelligence comes down. Mr. Otis, emotion goes up, intelligence comes down. That's why never allow emotion to become too much charged up. You get too much excited in this thing, automatically or you get too much angry, or you get upset, you're disturbed. So automatically your intelligence comes down, as you already said, then the intellect becomes weak. Intelligence becomes weak and automatically the emotion or the man takes over. Okay? Good question, absolutely good question. That's exactly where all these 4 dimensions, that's why this concept was given by our ancient rishis. In the ancient world we knew all this. Okay, Vijnanamaya Kosh, how to develop it. Vijnanamaya Kosh, my friends, is developed by reading good books. Okay, by being in such seminars, being in company of such enlightened people. Okay, that's what enables you to constantly sharpen your intellectual. That's why they say you are what you are by the company you keep and the books you read. Yeah. So that's because that's where your Vijnanamaya Kosh gets sharpened up. Okay, I really want to appreciate, because I'm meeting you all for the next 2 or 3 times before this. That shows that you are all in that space of constantly working on your intellects. Because याद रखो दोस्तों, अपने बुद्धि को मन के पीछे जासूस बना के रखना. अगर आप उसको जासूस बना के नहीं रखोगे, मन इतना चंचल है, वो आपको उस तरीके में लेके जाएगा जहां पर आपको शॉर्ट टर्म प्लेजर है बट लॉन्ग टर्म पेन है. ओके, शॉर्ट टर्म प्लेजर बट लॉन्ग टर्म pain. So that's where the intellectual aspect comes down. Okay, useful? Okay, now last one, but the most important one which I want to touch upon is called as the, because as you all know, my friends, as you all appreciate, that this is a very, very important thing, and there has to be an awakening for this, okay. Now, as one of my other Guruji called Puresh Acharya normally says, first there has to be a spiritual awakening, and I'm sure all of you who are sitting here, you are, I can see, are spiritually awakened. That's why you're here, to further develop yourself. Now, spiritual awakening person, first awakening that he knows is this, that I am not a human being with a spiritual experience. I am a spiritual being with a human body, okay, human experience, okay. I am basically a spirit, which is neither can it die, nor was it born, okay, just much beyond this body. I am not the body, nor the body is mine, okay. I am actually that eternal soul, which is much more expansive, much more enlightened, much more powerful, and one which has got humongous strength, okay, which will neither die, nor was it born, okay. So that realization is a spiritual growth being, and it has to be, each one of us have to really work on that spiritual dimension for it to continuously keep on going. Spiritual dimension grows, when you don't fall prey to any unethical temptations, okay. When your actions, you're not falling prey to unethical temptations, when you're not doing consciously something wrong, you're not telling lies for your own self aggrandishments, or you are doing something wrong just for the it will harm somebody else, okay. Those are things which are normally not in tune for your spiritual growth, okay. Spiritual growth, actually that spiritual spirit that is there, whenever you are doing something good for the others, you inside feel an expansive feeling. That is actually what touching the spirit as your
true nature.
That's your true nature. Absolutely right, sir. That's your true nature. When you help somebody, actually many of us confuse between pleasure and happiness. Pleasure comes from external material things. I eat a very good food, for some time I feel happy, I feel so-called pleasurable, okay. But when do you get actual happiness? Anybody? Huh? Yeah, helping somebody with what intention? Without any agenda. How many of you agree with me? When you help somebody without any agenda, unconditionally, that is the time when you actually feel truly happy. Okay? And you know that this fellow is not going to do anything to me, but I still help him. Automatically, that leads to you feeling expanded. That's where, so as you rightly said, that's where you have touched your spirit, and spirit has grown. And that's a small glimpse of the spiritual evolution. Okay? Spiritual evolution also is about our children who are unspoiled by the external world in terms of their conditioning and their being tutored towards the so-called the worldly ways. They are the true creation of what? Of the spirit. The spirit is actually showing up in those children. So when we become like the children, that's the time when actually you're allowing the spiritual growth to happen. Okay. So this spiritual dimension is the most important thing. If you ask me, if I have to give an analog, if you're having a motorcycle, all of us have got a car, right? The 4 tires are the physical, mental, emotional and intellectual. And the steering wheel is the spiritual health. Okay. All the 4 tires are important. Even if one of them go off crank, your ride will not be comfortable. But what really steers you towards holistic health is your spiritual awakening. If you ask me, that is the most important pillar. If that pillar is in proper state, the rest of the pillars will automatically be much more stabler. Okay? If that pillar is weak, our strong overall physical health. So each of us sitting here, what I would appeal to you is consciously be present to it. You need to consciously work on your physical fitness. Be very careful about what you eat so that your energy level is high. Second is you be very, very careful about your mental health. Okay? Don't allow your thoughts to overcome you. Okay? Always have thoughts under your control. Use the technology of meditation. Third one is emotion. Be conscious about what emotion is driving you. Consciously try to filter off all your negative emotions and try to focus on the positive emotions. Fourth one is?
Some get happiness in accumulation.
Yes. That is out of
Greed.
greed. And greed is a greed is a negative emotion. You're right. They get happiness short term. Okay. And because of that greed only, all the problems in this world is because of the greed. So as you would appreciate, there's enough for everybody's need. But more than enough, but not enough for one man's greed. So if you are able to eliminate this so-called greed, this world would be a much better place. How many of you agree with me?
Yes.
How much? This would be an idea. It is a heaven. It will be heaven. We require only this much to survive, eat.
Yes. This
Every
much.
day. Yeah. It's this much. Okay. Maximum this much. And how much can you produce? So much. Okay. And one more thing is, ultimately, with your spiritual evolution, you come to know. Ultimately, when you have come with mutti band karke aaye, and when you go, and if you actually see, you have neither bought anything inside, neither will you take anything inside. Now, this again is a spiritual awakening. But in spite of knowing this, we still, as you
But they are unmindful of when they go away, nothing comes with them.
Absolutely.
But majority don't find it practically.
So you're right. Mainly because this dimensions of the health is not there.
Actually, they are not happy accumulating. They are insecure, so they are.
Absolutely. The insecurity, stress, basic fundamental of all this is because of the negative emotion called as
Even
fear.
Fear. Even
Fear.
anger comes many a time because of insecurity.
Absolutely. All of them, the fundamental cause is fear, and fear is an antithesis of faith. Okay. If you don't have faith, fear goes up. If you have faith, fear will come down. Say if on a scale of 1 to 10, if you have got fear of, if you feel frightful of 50-60%, that means only your faith is only 30-40. But if you have 100% faith in the Almighty God, in the cause and effect of this world, or in this benevolence of the Lord, if you have total faith, then you need not have any fear. If you have got total faith, you will have no fear. We all have got insecurity or fear because we don't have faith. And as rightly said, that leads to all those greed, accumulation, insecurity, stress and tension. Okay. So friends, for you to do the right things, I also felt that there are some principles which I wanted to share with you. This is there in this book of mine called the Jogging for Life Success, which I learned from my sports career. I used to play for India in basketball. And for the last 20 years I've been coaching children in basketball. Out of coaching more than about 3,000 children, and when I take them through making them run, do the exercise, I realized some of the principles which if you apply while jogging, how children are able to break through in terms of able to run 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers. Because the very first day when they come for my camp, which I normally conduct at Goregaon Sports Club, Malad, first day when they come, they are not even able to run 20 meters. How many meters? 20 meters. But once if I start telling them these principles, which I am going to share with each one of you, okay, within a matter of around 4 to 5 days, most of them are able to run about 2 to 3 kilometers. And as they keep on doing it, because normally I have got 2 camps, 21 days each. By the 10th to 14th day, some of them have run up to 10 kilometers. From 10 meters to 10 kilometers they have been able to run effortlessly, just by following some of the principles which I am going to share with you in terms of the fitness. And when I look at these principles in the light of these 5 dimensions, I feel there's a lot of correlation between them. Now that's exactly what I'm going to share with you. The first principle I say is, don't allow your monkey mind to overpower your body. First principle is what? Do not allow your monkey mind to overpower your body. Remember, as I told you, your mind, which is a conceptual bag where all the senses come in. The basic nature of the mind is always to be gentle, to be always. And there's 2 parts of the mind, I would say, the monkey mind and the godly mind. But normally the monkey mind is always more active. Okay. Whenever you try out something new, whenever you are doing some new, cultivating a new healthy habit, it normally starts giving you some negative feelings, some negative props, some negative, murmurs in your mind. This also is called as a little voice within your mind. Because whatever you achieve in your life is between your left ear and your right ear. Okay. Like for example, in case of the children, I tell you, whenever they start running, many of them will stop. They say, my leg is paining, my stomach is paining. Okay, I will fall down. I will faint. Yeah? These are all what? These are all the murmurs which is given by the monkey mind. Okay, it gives you those prompts in order to make you stop. But one more nature of this monkey mind is, the moment you don't yield to its prompts, after some time what happens? It keeps quiet. Because you cannot destroy that monkey mind, but you can only manage it. And it is very much manageable. So I always tell the children that don't allow your monkey mind to overpower your body. As soon as you run, it will come with all the types of reasons, excuses. It can come out. No? It will say, my shoe is not right. Okay, this ground is not properly leveled. Okay, I have never run in my life. Nobody in my family has run. Okay, my teachers never told me to run. My PT teacher never told me to run. I am playing an indoor game. I am not interested to play basketball for my life. All these are what? Excuses or reasoning given by the monkey mind to stop you. So you need to be aware about it, and you need to let it come and let it pass by. Say thanks for sharing, pass by. So that's the first principle for you to cultivate good principles. Now, for example, when I talk about the physical fitness, as I told you, how many hours you have to at least spend for your physical fitness? 1 hour. 1 hour of at least, I would say 15 minutes of stretching exercise, at least about 25 to 30 minutes of either jogging or walking, and then come back again and do some more stretching exercises. First one will be warm up, second one will be a little bit more of a strenuous. So the moment you start walking or jogging, within about 5-10 minutes what will happen? The monkey mind will come and say, "Bahut ho gaya. I have got a very busy day ahead. I have to do this, I have to do that." So it will try to stop you. But you don't have to yield to that monkey mind. Okay? And as I told you, once you stop the monkey mind from, if you don't give that, the feeding to the monkey mind will become smaller and will remain where it is. So the first principle, friends, I want to share with you all, in order for you to work on all these 5 dimensions of life, which are the physical, mental, emotional, intellectual and spiritual. Okay? All of them require some practices. Like for example, physical mind, we said at least 1 hour of medicine. 1 hour of physical fitness. Like by eating food, I would say 50% eat natural food. But the monkey mind will always try to go towards more of those, oily food, all of those non-pranic food. So there you have to tell the monkey mind, no, I am happy with the pranic food. Similarly, when it comes down to meditation, why do 2 times? We do for only 1 time. So these are all in every good practices of yours. In emotional thing, emotion, brain, if you really want to become better, I want to give you a small exercise, to make you emotionally stronger. I would ask you to at least help every day, two people you help every day, okay, whom you know will not be able to repay you what you do for them. Okay? Two people, you help them with whatever you can, okay, after knowing that they will not be able to give it back. I promise you, your emotional mind or emotional well-being will take to the next level. How many of you would like to try that?
Yes.
Yes. So third one is about intellectual. Intellectual require a lot of reading, coming for seminars like this, going and attending some maybe spiritual gathering. So there to go, you need to have that discipline. This monkey mind will come as a barrier for every such thing. He said, then it's better to go and sit in the home and watch those so-called endless serials, okay, which are only meant for making money for the producers, not for us.
Yes.
Okay, the monkey mind will say that is better, it's more enjoyable. But then you need to have a discipline to come down to this. On all these areas, my friends, I promise you, as I've written in this book, the monkey mind will try to stop you. But you, as a stronger person, adhere to this principle that don't allow your monkey mind to overpower your body or your actions. Okay, that is the first principle which I wanted to share with you. Second is, do not stop for the first time. What is the first principle?
Do not stop.
Yeah. Do not stop for the first time. See, remember, a good habit, to break the first time is difficult.
Yes.
Okay. But the first time you break the good habit, the second time becomes
Easy.
much more easier. Third time, so it becomes much more easier. So when I make my children run, I tell them, when you feel so-called little tired, which you are not tired, but you are so-called tired, don't stop, slow down. Take a deep breath and then go. Then run again. But don't stop. The moment you have stopped once, what have you done? You have actually fed the monkey mind. And then second time becomes much more easier. Third time it will become automatic. Same thing happens in all the practices. Like for example, if you have to do meditation, you are doing meditation regularly for 2 times. Suddenly one day it will say, okay, let me avoid one time. I'll do it one time. The first time you allow that first one lapse to happen, then maybe after another 1 or 2 days, one more time you will lapse, and then it will happen so that even the one time you do, you start lapsing. So don't break the rule which you have made for yourself the first time. Okay, this is very crucial. The first time your conscience will stop you, will help you. No, don't do that. It's good for you. Don't do that. And if you listen to the conscience, you will be able to move forward.
Yes.
But on the other hand, the monkey mind will be very active. The moment he knows that you are becoming weak, it will put a snatch on you and pull you. So you have to be careful to see that you don't stop for the first time. Any good habit which you have formed, don't break it the first time. If you don't break it the first time, I promise you, you will be able to conquer all those evils or disease called procrastination,
Yes.
or pseudo rationalization and all those things which normally stop you from cultivating those good habits to develop these 5 dimensions of your health. Okay, this is the second one. Okay, third one is, think of just one step at a time. Normally whenever you want to do any big thing, like if you want to eat an elephant, they say take bit by bit. Don't try to take the entire thing together. In my sports ground, the children, normally I tell them that okay, if you want to run 5 rounds of this GSC ground, which is almost about 400 meters, don't think about the entire 5 rounds. Just think of one step at a time. Just concentrate, be present to that one step. Just enjoy that one step and keep on doing the next step, the next step, the next step. And you will not realize when the 5 rounds gets complete. How many of you agree with me?
Yes.
Yeah? Any big work, any big project, okay, don't think about the entire project together. Think of just doing the one action, next action, with total presence and happiness. And automatically you will see that the entire project slowly starts getting completed.
Yes.
So this is the third point. So till now what all we have covered? First one is, don't allow your monkey mind to overpower your body. Second one is,
Don't stop for the first time. Third one is think of one step at a time. Think of one step at a time. The fourth principle which I talk about is always choose to do whatever you do. Okay? Like if I have to go for running, if I am running, I choose to do it. I don't do it because yeah, it is not because I wanted to get the distinction. My friend says, I don't, what's the word? Have to do. I choose. Yes, I choose to do, or in this wanting, actually what happens, my friends, is the power of choosing. The moment you choose something, it becomes effortless. Okay, it doesn't become effortful. All of you have chosen to be here. That's why you are all comfortable here. If somebody had forced you to come and sit here, now I promise you, you would feel very uncomfortable and you would want the entire program to get over. Okay? The choosing gives you that effortlessness. Choosing gives you that sense of effortlessness, which is so very essential for us to enjoy the activity which you do. Now, there may be times in life where sometimes the activity which you do may not be to your total liking. But even in that case, if you just choose it, because you say, okay, now it has come to my plate, I will do it with my 100% intensity, with my 100% heart. And the moment you do it voluntarily, willingly, with acceptance, what happens? That particular task absolutely becomes easier. I mean, if you agree with me.
Yes.
So that's a part of the choosing. Normally, where people get stress, strain, and disturbances, which affects the mind affects the body and all of this, because they do things because they feel it is compelled to do. Okay. The moment they compel it, or one more thing is they resist what they are doing. Remember, my friends, resistance leads to persistence. Can you repeat that, please?
Resistance leads to persistence.
Absolutely. Remember, whatever you resist in life, it will persist. And not only it will persist, it will be very traumatic for you. Like for example, many times in Bombay, all of you must have seen, now we have traffic jam. Okay? The moment you are in a traffic jam, if you start cursing,
Enjoy it.
more and more. Instead of that, as you beautifully said, say, okay, I'm in a traffic jam, I'm sure somebody is working on that. Or if I can do something, I'll do it. Let me see how I can enjoy it. Or can I put on some music and enjoy the music? Or can I read something? Like the moment you accept it, automatically the entire experience becomes manageable. I don't say enjoyable, but it becomes manageable, and it's more acceptable to you. You're not unnecessarily straining and impacting your other areas of life.
And it becomes fun sometimes.
Sometimes it becomes fun, absolutely. Because in life, everything is happening and life is unpredictable.
But if you are stuck up in a jam, you can see what is happening.
Yeah, absolutely. A wonderment, absolutely. Have a wonderment. Look at other human beings. I promise you, every human being is something different. Every human being actually is a miracle. And every human being, has got different ways of reacting, responding, and behaving. Even just analyzing them with curiosity and with open-mindedness gives you a lot of happiness. You will see, like the entire world is like a circus. Each one of us are, in a way, jokers, making ourselves and others laugh.
Enjoy their anger at that time.
Yeah, true, absolutely true. So it's all a matter of your mindset. Okay? If you accept it, automatically you will be able to do it. So what I'm talking about is choose to do whatever you do in life. If something comes to you which you may not be at your liking, even in that case, consciously present, okay, you wanna, I'll accept it. I'll not resist it. I'll accept it. Now let me enjoy this entire process. And look at this philosophically. That okay, if it has come to me, God Almighty must be wanting to maybe grow me, teach me something new. So let me be in the process of learning something new. And when you start having that type of a mindset, I promise you, that so-called arduous thing becomes enjoyable. I mean, if you agree with me. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Then the fourth one. Fifth one is, my friends, it's called you got to believe You have to have a belief in yourself. Okay? Remember, beliefs are very, very important. They say the belief with which you start a journey would totally decide the end result of the journey. Okay? So beliefs are very important. They always talk about the entire cycle of belief is as follows. There is a called a Buffar principle. What's the word? Buffar principle. It's called Buffar. The belief leads to your attitude. Attitude leads to your feelings. Feeling leads to your action. Action leads to your results. Okay? So this is how the belief, whatever belief that you hold, is determining the results or the experience of your life. Okay? Now, if I have to define belief, belief is nothing but the thoughts which you consider to be the truth.
Yes.
Okay? The thoughts which you consider to be the truth. So you need to be very, very careful about what is it, that belief that you are holding in your mind. Yesterday I saw the film Toilet. Anybody saw that?
No.
Good movie, very well made movie, very well made commercial movie, but with a brilliant social message. And the message which I got was that, how that belief, that absolutely crooked and a wrong belief, which they give the example of our Manusmriti and our Vedas, which is so stupidity, that there should not be any shauchalayas in the house because it will dirtify. But that fellow will not urinate in the outside the house. But he says inside the house, according to our Vedas and so-called Pandits, they said we should not have this thing because it will pollute the house. What is this? This is a
Belief.
actually it's a stupid belief. This is the disempowering beliefs, the limiting beliefs, which was, according to them, the reason why many villages and many so-called towns in Uttar Pradesh have got no toilets. Government is spending 2,900 crores annually for this particular toilet, and not one toilet is built. And sometimes the government machinery is not to be faulted, because when they go there to those villages, the villagers say no, you are not allowed to build shauchalayas anywhere. Our people will go to the farms and do it. It's got a very powerful social message. And if I could, I as a human behavioral scientist, when I was looking at that particular film, what I got presented was, it's all a matter of stupid beliefs. Okay, all of them are beautifully shown. Everybody is carrying a smartphone. Everybody is going in a 4-stroke motorbikes. Okay, and they have got all the other modern things they have absorbed. But this thing, they are resisting because of their stupid beliefs. Okay, and because of their belief, there's attitude to feeling to action to results, and that's what is happening. So, friend, you got to believe. You need to constantly work on your beliefs. Is your belief taking you forward? Is your belief pushing you back? If it is not taking you forward, okay, you need to relook at your belief and ensure that you convert them into positive belief, into positive limiting beliefs to be converted into empowering beliefs. Okay, so I promise you, whatever you are achieving in your life today, whatever results, if it is good, it's because there has been a positive belief which is actually fueling it. And in any area of your life, if you are not doing well, I can promise you.
They just said, you are what you believe.
You are brilliant, very good. You are what you believe, absolutely. In any area of life, in the area of money, you are struggling. Look at it, maybe somewhere this beliefs which has been normally ingrained in us, not now, it has been ingrained when we were children. Maybe unconditionally, you were not aware about it also. Your environment, your parents, your neighbors, your class teachers, your classmates, all of them are put in something at that point of time. Maybe you were not aware about it. Because friends, as you all know, if you have to analyze, if you have to actually, as you all know about this brain structure, when you look at this brain, there are two parts of the brain. What are they? Absolutely, conscious and subconscious. How much is conscious? How much is subconscious? 1090. Brilliant, sir. Absolutely right. 1090 is the division. Okay, 1090. Okay, and what is the conscious brain called as? Anybody? Yeah, it is called a thinking brain, and subconscious brain is called as the emotional brain. Why is it called thinking brain?
Uses logic.
Yes, uses logic. And when is it working? For how long is it working? As long as you are awake, it's working. Conscious brain is working. What about subconscious?
Or 24 hours.
24/7, 365 days. Okay, so which is more powerful? Absolutely, subconscious is more powerful. Okay, and all these beliefs, your experiences, your conditioning, has all happened where?
In subconscious.
Huh? In your subconscious brain. You know, all your experiences, all your memories, okay, all your beliefs, they are all lodged here, and it's working 24/7. Okay, you may not even know the way you are behaving, the way you are reacting is all determined by your subconscious brain. So you need to actually work on yourself by introspection and check out what is it that has led to you behaving the way you behave. Okay. I normally share this example about my own beliefs about money. When I was 3-year-old, I was in Cubs. Okay. And every year in the Cubs we used to be taken for a camp in Mathera. Okay. Myself and my neighboring neighbor, his name was Sashi. Today he is an orthopedic surgeon in Madras. He was 1 year older to me, the next class. He was always smart, always coming first. So in my opinion, he was a very role model for me. So when we were leaving for the camp, my mother gave me 25 rupees. So what I did was, 5 rupees I kept with me, 20 rupees I gave it to him. I said, you give it. Whenever I want, I'll take it from you. Unfortunately, it so happened that when we were going by train from Bombay to Matheran, he lost his wallet. Because of which for 3 days, we had to subsist on the 5 rupees, and I couldn't really enjoy chickies or the horse ride and all that. So that 8-year-old Arunaagiri made a decision. Boss, iske aage na paisa किसी को देने का नहीं. कितना भी अच्छा हो, पैसा कहाँ रखने का? अपने पास रखने का. Until I was 28, 29 year old, I never used to give my money to any other person for investment. Like there's stock market, there's a PMS called this, portfolio management system. There are mutual funds. No, I used to keep money either at home or in the bank. Even bank may come, घर पे. And the money was actually rotting. Understand? I came across my own belief. What's happening? Why am I so insecure about money? I could realize it is because that 8-year-old Arunaagiri who made a decision was still ruling me. And I had to come out of it. When I came out of it, I started overcoming that barrier, and I gave it to some of the PMSs, and they doubled my money in a matter of just 1 year. And today I've got almost 6 PMSs running all over different equity markets, different agencies, and all of them are doing exceptionally well. But I don't have time for being daily onto the shares, but I trust them. They take their margins, but they make humongous amount of money for me. So I came out of my so-called beliefs. And like this, there are so many beliefs that are ruling us. So friends, you need to check out which beliefs are ruling you. Either they are taking you forward or are they taking you backward. Okay? And you need to ensure that your beliefs become positive beliefs, because you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in proper beliefs for you to be fast tracking towards the goals that you have put on your own life. Okay. So friends, can we just recollect the points which we have said till now? First one is what? What are the principles?
Do not allow the monkey.
Do not allow the monkey mind to overpower the body. Second one is?
Think one thing at a time.
Think one step at a time. Don't think about eating the entire elephant together. Third one?
Always choose.
Always choose. Choose to do whatever you choose. Or whatever you choose to do. Or whatever comes on your plate. Choose to do it. What else?
Do not stop for the first.
Don't stop for the first time. The first time you stop, second time becomes easier. Next one. And you got to believe. Have empowering beliefs. And you have a belief that I can achieve anything in life. Okay? That again is a belief. Some of us don't have feeling that I can't do this. Public speaking I can't do. I can't do training. I can't do this. We have put a self-limitation on ourselves. So you need to break those beliefs. Remember, as a human being, God has given you so much of potential. So much of potential that we are not even using less than 5% of that potential. Okay? That's important. Next one, which I wanted to get present to two important things. One is to being extraordinarily coachable. Being extraordinarily coachable. Coachable means what you are all right now doing. Coachable means willing to learn.
Keep your mind open.
Willing to keep your mind open. 3 O's. Objective, observant and open. Okay? Moment you are able to do this, automatically you will be able to absorb a lot of things. Coachability also means humility.
Yeah.
You should at any given point of time always remember that what you know is only a speck of dust. Who you are is a speck of dust. Okay? And what you know also is only this much. There is so much more to learn from everybody. From every person in this world you can learn something new. So if the moment you are coachable or willing to learn from anybody and everybody, okay, automatically you will become a person who is unstoppable in your growth. I mean, if you agree with me.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So all of you sitting here, and also those people who are watching it on the YouTube, are people already having this coachability, otherwise you wouldn't be there. You will be watching this particular video or you will not be there in this class. So that itself is a very, very big thing. The last one, friends, I want to touch upon is called as attitude of gratitude. Okay? Always have a sense of gratitude towards everything that you have. Okay? God has been so very merciful, so very generous in giving us this human form. That itself is one of the biggest gifts that any living organisms can ever think. How many of you agree with me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we are the most evolved, we are the most powerful, we are the most powerfully constructed living organisms. Okay, so you can be grateful for so many things in life. Okay? So have the sense of gratitude towards everything that you know. Okay? Like first of all, constantly remember all the good things in your life. Second one is try to also remember from the sense of gratitude, try to live gratitude. Ensure that you express that gratitude by making other people better, by contributing to their other people's life as well. That again is important. Gratitude doesn't mean that only enjoying it and remembering it, but also being in a state of mind to see that whatever you have received, you try to give it to others. So, and let me tell you one thing, what you give is what you get. Remember, whatever goes around, comes around. So this gratitude principle is one of the most powerful principles which enables you to attract good things to your life, and also it is one of the most powerful positive emotions. Okay? The moment you are grateful for anything, you automatically shift yourself from a negative to positive. Automatically your feelings will change, your actions will change, and your results will change. Okay. So these are the, friends, 7 principles which I thought, if you remember, and the background of those 5 dimensions of life, you automatically will be able to live a very, very holistic life. And again, recapture the entire thing in summation. We as human beings have got our physical dimension, we got our mental dimension, emotional dimension, intellectual dimension, spiritual dimension. Okay? And all these 5 dimensions needs to be worked on. Okay? Only when there's a holistic development, the holistic growth of all the 5 dimensions together is what gives you a holistic feeling of life. Right. Just to give an analogy of a car, these 4 things, physical, mental, emotional and intellectual, are the 4 wheels. The steering wheel is always with the spiritual dimension. That's a very important dimension which has to be constantly evolved. To develop this, You need to do continuously a lot of activities, as we said, like physical fitness. You need to go for exercise. Be careful about the food. Mental, work on your silence. Do meditation. For emotions, try to help others. Okay, and be conscious about what type of emotion is gripping you. For intellectual, read good books, be in the company of good people, attend seminars. All of them require actions. For spirituality, again, you need to go into yourself and constantly be aware that you are not the body, not the body is yours, you are the soul. And see how you can enhance the sensitivity towards the spirit. Okay. All of them require a lot of actions. While doing these actions, these are principles which help you to not give up those proper actions which you already know. First one is, don't allow your monkey mind to overpower your body. Second one is, think of one step at a time, don't think about the entire thing. Third one is, don't stop for the first time. Don't stop the first time, because first time it is difficult. The second time becomes easier. Fourth one is, you got to choose whatever you do. Choosing gives it effortlessness. Fifth one is, you got to believe. Have belief that you can achieve anything in life. Be careful about what beliefs you are encouraging or harboring. Okay. Sixth one is, be coachable, be learnable. Continuously have the curiosity to keep on learning from anybody and everybody and every day. And last one is, practice attitude of gratitude. When you practice this emotion of attitude of gratitude, you automatically would attract a lot of love, positive emotions, and also the goodness from the universe. Okay? So friends, I hope you all got some value out of these inputs. What I request you is, put them into practice right now, immediately after this seminar is over, and see how you can work on each of these different dimensions, being aware about these principles. I'm sure, I wish you all a really very healthy, wealthy, and a prosperous life.
Thank you.
Thank you.